a forgotten grave buried deep beneath the sun-scorched sands of ancient Babylonia. A Roman legionary, entombed far from home, not in chains, but in gold. Etched in bronze beside him, a cryptic vow, "Through the gates unseen I serve forever." Was he a fallen hero? Or the last guardian of something Rome never dared to name? Today, we uncover the startling truth behind one of the most mysterious military burials of the Roman Empire, a tale not of conquest but of secrecy, curses, and a treasure that may have never been meant for the living. If you're fascinated by lost history, ancient artifacts, and archaeological mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more hidden knowledge still to uncover. This is not just history. It's a riddle carved in stone, echoing across centuries. Let's begin. Imagine the sun hanging low on the horizon, its dying light casting long shadows across the desert plains that once bore the clang of Roman armor and the march of disciplined cohorts. In the early 2nd century CE, at the height of Rome's imperial reach, the province of Babylonia stretching from the Euphrates to the Tigris served as a crucial bulwark against the Parthian East. Here, on the edge of the known world, stood a fortress garrisoned by hardened legionaries whose loyalty was pledged in iron, not gold. Our story begins with one such soldier, Lucius Claudius Aurelianus. Stationed at a riverside fort near modern-day Fallujah, he belonged to Legio III Cyrenaica, a unit redeployed from North Africa to reinforce Rome's eastern frontier under Emperor Trajan. His presence in Babylonia was no accident. Rome's campaigns of expansion demanded experienced fighters who could weather both the blaze of Mesopotamian summer and the cunning of Parthian horse archers. Daily life in the frontier province combined the mundanity of guard duty with the ever-present tension of border warfare. Legionaries like Lucius rose before dawn, the chill of pre-dawn desert air stinging their lungs, only to shoulder their pila and don the larica segmentata. Their tasks ranged from patrolling the muddy banks of the Euphrates, ensuring grain barges remained unmolested, to constructing roads and watchtowers that would facilitate rapid troop movements across the scorched plain. Far from the marble forums of Rome, these men lived in earth and timber barracks, their leisure spent playing knucklebones or exchanging stories of home. Yet for Lucius, there must have been a deeper purpose than mere survival. Inscriptions found near the burial site hint at his devout offerings to Jupiter Optimus, Maximus, and Mithras deities favored by many soldiers seeking divine favor. Mithraic iconography, including the ubiquitous tauroctony, suggests that Lucius may have belonged to a clandestine brotherhood whose rites promised spiritual rebirth and protection in the afterlife. Such beliefs offered comfort in a land where death could come with the snap of an enemy's bowstring or the bite of a desert snake. When Lucius fell in battle, perhaps during a skirmish along the frontier or in a sudden Parthian raid, his comrades honored him not with haste, but with ceremony. They entombed him in a locally quarried limestone chamber, sealing his final resting place beneath a tumulus of sand and broken pottery. They laid out his personal effects: a finely wrought bronze helmet decorated with embossed rosettes, a pair of iron greaves polished to a dull sheen, and most startlingly a hoard of gold coins, some stamped with Trajan's portrait, others bearing the visage of his successor Hadrian. This treasury, deliberately buried alongside Lucius, is at the heart of our tale. To modern archaeologists, it represents a golden debt, the soldier's accumulated pay, saved over years of service, intended to secure his family's future in Rome. But could there have been another motive, something far more mystical behind this burial rite? Fast forward to the present day, a team of archaeologists from the University of Basra, armed with trowels and satellite imagery, uncovers the burial mound while surveying for ancient canals. Initial surveys reveal a rectangular chamber, surprisingly intact beneath 2 millennia of sand. As the team carefully removes layers of silt, the helmet glints and the coins emerge one by one, each bearing witness to imperial propaganda and economic reach. Scholars crane their necks to read the inscriptions stamped on the coins: Aurii of Trajan, Decans of Hadrian, and even a few rarer issues of Antoninus Pius. The sheer variety indicates that Lucius served for at least 30 years, an impressive tenure, considering the mortal dangers of frontier duty. Carefully catalogued, the hoard comprises nearly 400 gold pieces, equivalent to several years of a legionary's wages. Laboratory analysis confirms that the coins were not mere emergency stashes. Many show signs of wear, suggesting regular handling. Among them lies a small, unremarkable plaque of electrum engraved with the letters Viov, Votum, or vow. Might this plaque represent an unfulfilled promise to a god, offered in exchange for victory or safe passage? If so, the coins themselves could be regarded as sacrificial payment to deities and otherworldly debt owed in hopes of divine favor. But their placement beside Lucius's skeleton complicates the picture. Here was a man who had saved diligently, yet chose to endow his burial with wealth far exceeding that needed to secure earthly memorialization. In Roman funerary practice, the poorer classes often received modest interments. Wealthier citizens might be commemorated with elaborate sarcophagi. A legionary, however, rarely merited such opulence. Was this an act of purely personal devotion? Or was it an orchestrated ritual blending soldierly duty with spiritual obligation? Microscopic analysis of residues inside the burial chamber reveals traces of frankincense and myrrh, exotic resins imported from Arabia and India. Such substances were costly and symbolized purification and transmutation in ancient mysteries. Their presence points to a ceremony well beyond a simple military funeral rite, designed to prepare the deceased for a journey beyond the mortal coil. Field reports note the discovery of a small iron amulet shaped like a stylized key, its surface etched with lines resembling cosmic pathways. Local legends passed down through Bedouin storytellers speak of the blood oath sworn by legionaries, a vow written in the blood of an initiate to bind him to his comrades and to a secret understanding of the world beyond death. This amulet, possibly used in such a rite, would be the key that opens the gate between worlds, granting entry to those deemed worthy. Although the archaeological record cannot fully illuminate, the private ceremonies of Mithraic initiate secrecy was their creed. The convergence of gold, incense, and amulets in Lucius's tomb offers tantalizing evidence. It suggests a soldier who, mindful of both earthly duty and spiritual destiny, sought to reconcile his golden debt with an otherworldly bequest. Whispers of Lucius's burial began circulating among local villagers long before official excavation. Tales claimed that any who disturbed the tomb faced misfortune, sudden illness, nightmares of a centurion's ghost, or inexplicable chills at dusk. Such stories, though easily dismissed by rational minds, play into powerful human fears of the unknown. They echo the very beliefs that may have animated the legionaries themselves. In the centuries following Rome's withdrawal from Mesopotamia, Babylonia changed hands many times. Sassanids, Arabs, Seljuks, yet the legend persisted. Poems composed in medieval Arabic reference a strange coffin brimming with gold, guarded by unseen sentinels. In Ottoman-era travelogues, dervishes recount visions of a Roman warrior riding a pale horse at twilight, his helmet glinting with uncanny light. These narratives weave history and myth into an enduring tapestry that enriches local cultural memory. Modern visitors to the excavation site now pause at a modest memorial plaque. Here rests Lucius Claudius Aurelianus, son of Rome, brother to the mystery of Mithras. Tour guides recount both factual details, his rank, legion, probable battles, and the more sensational lore of blood oaths and gates to the underworld. This dual narrative captivates audiences. The grounded scholarship appeals to history enthusiasts, while the mystical dimension intrigues those drawn to esoteric traditions. Beyond mere entertainment value, these stories invite reflection on how we remember the dead and what we expect of them. Lucius's tomb challenges the neat categories of history and myth. His gold coins, once tangible currency of empire, become symbolic tokens of human longing, for security, for transcendence, for a way to hold on to what truly matters when life slips away. The iron key amulet, meanwhile, stands as a metaphor. Each of us carries our own key's beliefs. Rituals, tokens to unlock hope in the face of mortality? For viewers today, Lucius's story offers multiple lessons. Historically, it illuminates the life of soldiers on the empire's farthest frontier, the economics of military service, and the syncretic religious world of late antiquity. Personally, it prompts us to consider the legacies we leave behind. Are they merely material savings, possessions, or do they encompass the promises and rituals we share with those we hold dear? As cameras pan over the desert dusk, we leave Lucius Claudius Aurelianus to his eternal watch. The winds whisper through the stones of his tomb, carrying echoes of trumpets and prayers. His golden debt has become a gift to posterity, a window into a vanished world where empire, faith, and myth converge beneath the same unending sky. And in that convergence, we find the enduring power of story of legends born in sand, but reaching far beyond, into the realms where history and imagination entwine.